target timeline. Okay, in from November 2025, it is an 18-month period. The period is 18 months for the implementation roadmap for any organization. A lot of companies still, they have not initiated any sort of activity because a lot of companies are looking at, let us see, okay, 2027 May aa gaya to dekh lenge. But it's not like that. At that point of time, establishing privacy framework, creating all these policies, procedures, compliance requirements is a big Herculean task. But still, that's their choice. But the point I would like to tell you is, if you consider November 2025, then it is 18 months. But as on today, leftover time for DPDP compliance is only 10 months because we are at July 2026. Okay. So if at all, next 10 months, by barring the completed period, what need to be done? Every organization need to mobilize governance, appoint a DPO or contact if it is an SDF. Okay, they need to run gap assessment. Today, where your organization stands, okay, that gap assessment need to be performed. Then compile a register of processing activities. ROPA is called as register of processing activities. How your organization is running the business from step A to step Z, A to Z. The design privacy notices and design consent management procedures, and create a breach management policy. Okay, then build consent and data subject rights. Start vendor addendums. Implement logging and retention frameworks. How many years you are going to retain your data? What is the data retention period? Policies, procedures need to be established. Okay, and next, roll out your data deletion engine, complete vulnerability and assessment and penetration testing, automate certain reporting pathways as per Indian context, and try to cover procedures and policies for children consent. Okay, and perform internal audits. And finally, you need to one point I would like to touch here. If at all your organization, okay, has got an office in Europe, your head office in India, but you have an office in Europe, then your organization is going to follow DPDP Act for Indian business context and GDPR, EU GDPR for your European subsidiary. Okay. Then any sort of data is being transferred from your site to Europe site to your site, your office. Then cross-border data transfer, CBDT, cross-border data transfer, that need to be ensured. Okay. And finally, you can have dashboards and then audit readiness for achieving 100% compliance for DPDP Act. Okay. Now, what is just to throw a light with regards to the compliance, overall compliance checklist, I would like to give you a brief. Under governance banner, you need to have privacy policy, data inventory, data classification, and DPO appointment. Under privacy operations, you should have data protection impact assessment process, data subject requests, internal audits, compliance monitoring. Under consent, you need to have consent repository, withdrawal process, audit trail, purpose mapping. Under security, you should have encryption, multi-factor authentication, SIEM, data leakage prevention. Under third-party risk, you need to have vendor assessment, DPDP contract classes, due diligence reviews. And finally, incident response, you need to have breach management policy in place, regulatory notification workflow, and crisis communication. So these are all requirements as a part of checklist for BFSI and FinTech. Okay. So what are our top 10 executive takeaways?
Watch the full video on our website. Click the link in the description to get started.